Hello everyone, my name is Kurazarrh, and welcome back to Sunless Sea, where we have just finished beating the principals at a final game of chess and sending the principals off into the great beyond, or wherever it might be. Now, we are going to continue, I think, our quest for the Fulgent Impeller, which is the Tireless Mechanics adventure, and I think in order to properly get the quest interlog, I think we have to go down here and at least visit. There's a location down here that I don't recall the name of at the moment. It is like the castle of something or other, or something castle. But in order to do this quest, we have to go to Frostfound to get his secret, or his sort of knowledge there. And Frostfound is a weird place where it kind of inverts terror. You want high terror in order to get to the important places. That's a problem, because once you're done, if you leave with 100 terror, well, you are likely to die very, very quickly, even if you full steam it all the way to London. So, we need to find a way to mitigate that. And we could come in here, we could talk to our officer, the Urbane Magician, and we could do the expensive thing of getting a life specimen and a whole bunch of other odds and ends, and putting on another show. And that would actually save us pretty easily. But it is pricey. It is a bit of a chore to get all those things. And I thought it would be better to just bring along what's called a Judgment's Egg, which is an item you can acquire via one of several means. One is the easy, boring route, which is to go and buy it for 10 secrets up here in Irem. But I don't like that option because it's 10 secrets. Those are valuable. So I think what we'll do is we're going to go for a different option, which is if we can bring a Colossal Fluke Core down to the Iron Republic, we might be able to trade it for the Judgment's Egg there, depending on what day it is. If that fails, there is another method of acquiring them, but I'd rather avoid that one if possible, because it requires talking to Mr. Sachs. And Mr. Sachs is basically Satan Claus. Not Santa, Satan Claus. And it's a very dangerous set of missions to do, but it does reward you with a Judgment's Egg, as long as you don't die during it. So I'm going to sail around here and look for a Lorn Fluke, and see if we can't take it down. We do have, I think, plenty of... Do we have plenty of torpedoes? Ah, yeah, we're good. I think what I'll do, though, is I'm going to probably just stay quiet and speed up the battle once we find one, because it takes like a solid 2 minutes, if not more, to kill one. So, oh, there we go. Check it out. Hey, buddy. But yes, so I'm just going to probably speed this up, and we're going to take out this savage Lorn Fluke. Fill all of your firing solutions instantly. Wow, that's pretty cool. Huh. Didn't know that was a thing. Hey, buddy. Just gonna back up here. Later. That's pretty cool. I didn't realize we had gotten that. I think that was a reward from the principals. Oh, underwater. Get back here. Alright, there we go. So we should get 3 secrets and a Colossal Fluke Core here. There we go. Nice. Okay, so with that done, I think it's time for us to go to the Iron Republic and try to sell this for a Judgment's Egg. I do think, and people have commented in all the comments about this, but the combat in this game is pretty rudimentary. And I think I know one thing that I would like to see implemented if there were to be a second version of the game, or maybe in Sunless Skies, which I have not played yet, is I think sort of the main failure of this is that I think in reality you wouldn't really have guns that only fire in forward arcs or in rear arcs. Or you would, but you'd also have some that are broadsides. I mean, broadside cannonry is kind of like iconic, classic seafaring, pirate stuff. And, even up through today, you have big guns and turrets that can swing every which way. So I think it would be nice to be able to have, broadside salvos, because then you could actually keep moving around a target, and maybe it might make sense to do certain maneuvers in order to make sure that you actually stay on target and, don't get killed. That might also make it a bit harder to avoid enemy fire, but I think there are probably ways to sort that out. What are you? We'll ignore you. We're unfinished pirates. Given that we are near Polythrium, that's probably accurate. Okay, so I'm going to grab some fuel in Khan Shadow, but then we will be over in the Iron Republic, and that's where I'll meet you. So I'll see all of you then. Okay, folks. That was a bit of a longer voyage than I was expecting. I stopped and got some port reports along the way, and fought a couple pirates, but we are here in the Iron Republic. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So right now we just have this shop open. I want to buy some fuel because we need a lot of it. And it's cheap here. There we go. And then I think we need to go in. Let's see. The Market of Hungers. We're not going to do the port report because that does interesting things to... Well, you know what? Let's do it. Probably lose something. Oh, we gained hearts and Tale of Terror. Okay. That one was worth it this time. Okay, so let's go to the Market of Hungers, Parliament of Flies. Need a Terror. Let's see what we got. Hey, it's here. Okay. Judgment's Egg. Yes, please. Very cool. And we could sell some of the Scintillac, too, for a little bit more than up in London. So I say let's go for it. I'm going to keep a couple. Like 3. Because it does take up hold space. We have this junk, too. Oh, goody. But that is pretty cool. So that means if I can launch and not smack into the cliffside there, that means we can go pretty much straight up to Frostfound and continue with the Tireless Mechanics storyline. But first, I'm going to stop in London. I'm going to probably kill this pirate because they're going to come after me in a moment. Unfinished Revolutionaries, okay. Boop! Oh, that's cool. That's really interesting. And it's just a cooldown. That is really handy. Got 10 hit points left to the cheap version. There we go. But yes, I'm going to hit London. I'm going to turn in our port reports. I'm going to probably refresh our stock of everything. What do these guys have? 1 fuel. That's all you had? Cheapskates. And then we're going to stop in Venderbite because it's close to Frostfound. And we're going to pick up that cook. Since we lost the Nacreous Outcast when we sent the principals away to oblivion, I guess. And so we're short a cook. And this will give us a couple more stat points. And that'll be important because in Frostfound, we're probably going to be paying for our journey with a few stat points here and there. So, yep, I'll cover that as we get there. And hopefully we don't lose too many, but I don't think it's super expensive. Night. I will take the Z story because Z stories are in shortish supply at the moment, I think. But disperse, we have 4 now, yeah. And those have been instrumental in getting us places, apparently. So I'm probably going to skip showing you what happens in London because it's just port reports and supplies, and then I will bring you back as we're getting to Vanderbite and getting this new cook on board our ship. So I'll see all of you then. And Vanderbite. I think it's been a while since we've been here. Let's go in and see if we can say hello to our cook friend at the Vengeance of Jonah. So we can recruit him for 300 Echo. And I guess the reason he's costly to recruit is because he wants very fine cookware and cutlery and so on, I suppose. So the chef paramount, okay. The bandage poissonnier has a long wish to travel, but he'll need to outfit the galley to his exacting standards. Avid enthusiasm. Ah, my captain, the things we will catch, that we will consume, that we will experience. We will discover the seventh sensation, you and I. The taste that one tastes with the heart. You there, sailor. Should that be sailor? Careful with the braising alembic. It's worth more than your wretched soul. Okay, so we now have a new cook, and he gives us heart 6, pages 3. I'll take it. Take whatever I can get. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and launch straight for Frostfound, and we're going to push it along the Tireless mechanics storyline for the Fulgent Impeller. And that will probably take up most of the episode. There's a lot of reading to do. And after that, we have like 3 or 4 more like legs of that journey, as it were. Hello, bats. Just gonna deal with these guys first. Woo. Let's eat them. Yeah. Again, we actually want terror, so getting rid of terror right now is not actually a good idea. Anyway, so there are 3 or 4 more legs of this journey for the Tireless mechanic. We need to get an element of dawn, I think it is, and a couple other odds and ends. And I realized I forgot to go and check out what's down here. King Eater's Castle is what it's called. And that is where we need to take all the stuff for his quest. So I think what we'll do is, after we finish our business at Frostfound, maybe we'll go to King Eater's Castle just to get it on the map, and so that we can hopefully have it show up in our journal. Because the quests are kind of categorized by location, and since we haven't been to King Eater's Castle, we just don't have like anything that involves that location in our journal. Nope. I'm way farther north than I thought I was. I believe in the last Captain, we came here with the Nightgrace Outcast, and there was something he could do in here that was interesting. But we are here to enter Frostfound. Okay, so you do actually have to have low terror to come in here. Interesting. Let's get our port report. Let's enter. Requires mirrors. 50. We have 73. A long flight of stairs rises glistening to a sheer tower. There is no door. The reflection hangs in the cloudy ice. In we go. Face the wall. You probably shouldn't do that, one of the squatters advises. Ignore her. Face the wall. Examine your cloudy reflection. Close your eyes. Step forward. Shiver. Frostfound radiates both cold and a subtler chill of the heart. Did you move at all? Or is it your reflection that moved? You are inside Frostfound. I actually don't remember reading that, so maybe we haven't been here. The corridors of Frostfound. Light. 100 rich and blinding colors filter through the ice. It's like drinking a kaleidoscope. It's like being kidnapped by rainbows. The colors shift with every step you take, revealing shining corridors. In each and every corridor, your reflection waits. Let's enter the Sapphire Chamber. This corridor shimmers with a blue as rich as the sky of the surface. A howling wind. It fills your ears, but the air is still. Okay, let's see here. So, Every facet of the ice crystal wall is the hard and depthless blue of a desert sky. You take one step further in, and that blue plucks at your senses. Vertigo spins you. A voice intones, "This was the sky." So if we returning will lower your terror, and it'll take you out of Frostfound eventually. So we don't want to do that here. We are at, 20? So we have two options. We can try to do this tough challenge without sacrificing a point of veils. I'm not super concerned, but let's try it here first. Recall other places where there is no sky. You are far from any sky. Stare fiercely into that fierce blue and call to mind your memories of skyless islands. We lost, okay. So we're just going to step into the sky and sacrifice a point of veils. The horror of emptiness. Yes, this blue is a brittle, savage barrier. Press against it and it will shatter, spilling you into the high wilderness. The stars are hungry, and there's a horror upon you. Your head spins. The right items mean you might have to sacrifice skill points. Okay, so if we have the right item and we succeed on the challenge, I guess we'll gain the terror. Alright, go to the Sapphire Chamber again. Great. Let's try this one again. We failed. Okay. Sacrifice some more veils, apparently. Here we go. Back in the quarters, we now have the Amethyst Gallery. Over here, a corridor is the deep violet of the more colorful Unterzee corals. Dappled shadows drift like fish. Predatory shapes. You are the center of hunters' attention. Things like and unlike sharks. Long, sleek, half visible behind the walls. You have the sudden sense that they are vaster than sharks. Vaster than Frostfound itself. Okay, so we could try to sacrifice Z stories, but it's a very, very low chance of success. So, the Amethyst Gallery. Perspective confounds you. This place stretches away every direction through a dusty purple haze, as if you float in a cloud. The air is chill and crackling. Vast and shadowy shapes hang lifeless in the distant cloud, fluid staining their hides. Whale things and beast things, bigger than dirigibles, bigger than cities. You are a speck in the cloud. Are you still inside Frostfound? Once again, there is a voice, lifeless as leaden type. There were casualties. Let's approach the Colossi. Fear is the way to the heart of Frostfound. You will not escape unscathed. Goodbye, Iron. Terror Profundi. Great, sad, dead eyes like stagnant crater lakes. Mouths which could drink rivers. Your entire ship would be a glint on a speck and a pockmark on the least limb of these things. Every time you enter battle, you will remember this. Enter the cavity. That corridor glows the rich red of sunlight on fresh blood. Bright as pain. As you tread the corridor's crimson facets, you almost expect your feet to come away sticky. The cavity. You are bathed in crimson light, thick as cream. It warms your skin and fills your mouth with a taste of iron. This is only a memory of a memory, a voice intones. The crime is forgotten. Its shadow remains. So we can either try to use a Tale of Terror, with a very low chance of success. Let's just pay some hearts. Surrender to the traces of horror. Whatever was remembered here is gone, but even its traces still scald the air. You can give in to it, but it will damage you. That art. All living things are joined in the chain. Men and apes, bees and roses, messengers and stars. When the red science breaks it, even time is scarred. Now that scar has touched your spirit. Enter the Emerald Vista, the green of forests of poison, of leaves haloed by arclight. Leaf shadows in motion, chilly air, the scent of pine. The Emerald Vista, rich, deep, fresh green of infinite depths and tints. If secrets had a color, it would be this. It baffles and delights the eye. A chilly wind brushes you. Something sought, the voice intones. Something lost. We could sacrifice fragments and most likely just lose terror. So we're going to sacrifice a point of mirrors. We're getting there. 73. Changes. There are changes which will wash away all that you were and all that you are. Nothing is familiar. Everything is new as morning. Your sight is dazzled, your perceptions confounded. Cross the diamond bridge. Here the light is brightest, lightning bright, migraine bright, bright as humiliation. Even when you close your eyes, the light does not diminish. Wow. The diamond bridge. A narrow space of blinding light, all colors and none, between the towers of Bright and the towers of Teneb. Once on the bridge, you'll be exposed, like an insect in the desert, like a fresh carcass on the operating table, like a jewel in the sun. Goodbye pages, our lowest stat for this character. And we got a little Steam achievement, Thou All-Shaking Thunder, when you get your terror above 90. Cross the bridge, the light will erode what you are. An acid dazzle. You stumble through a mounting haze of dread. The light tears at you. Thoughts wither like charring paper. Across, into the merely brilliant light of inner Frostfound. Enter the iridescence. A softer, pearlier mirror fog glow coils from this corridor. If this is Frostfound's pearl, what dark conclusion provoked it? Okay, so the iridescence. The light here is very different. The ice crystal walls are invisible behind a soft and luminous fog. Even the air is warmer. Your shadow paces you, stalking the boundaries of the fog. Know yourself, a voice intones. Retrieve the mechanic's secret. This, the mechanic says very quietly, is as far as we go. Let's get what we came for and get out. I don't want to see what's in the fog. Not again. Has he been here all along? Nothing is certain in Frostfound. The mechanic fumbles in the drifting mist on the floor. His shadow does the same. From within the fog, it scrapes away in imitation. There's a dull grating noise as of claws on rock. He comes up with a stone piglet, small enough to lie comfortably on the palm of his hand. Its eyes are bright as pearls. I'm sorry, the mechanic confesses. My imagination is rather literal. He stows the pig away out of sight. Now please, can we go? I can feel my teeth chattering out there. Okay, so we lost 35 terror. We're still above 50. Well, shoot. I brought the Judgment's egg so that we could dump our terror to 0 when we left. Well, let's go ahead and leave. I'm just going to ask the squatters about the castle. Let's take tea with them. That will drop our terror to exactly 50. And that gets supplies and fuel. What we can do here is, if we head down to Vanderbite, following these lights, we should be able to keep terror at 50. And then we can probably drop a little bit of terror at Vanderbite, and then come back to London and we'll drop the rest. So let's see how that goes. We're going to just spin about here and hopefully not hit 51. I feel a bit silly for getting that Judgment's egg now. It really didn't mean anything, did it? But there might be further uses for them, so we'll hang on to it and hopefully we'll find a way to use it, because it's worth a lot. I mean, the fluke cores are not difficult, they're just a pain to get at this point. Now that we can pretty much just farm the Lorn flukes. We point at that light? Yes, we are. I don't know if we're going to get there before we hit our next level of terror. But even if we hit 51, then at Vanderbite we can still drop our terror a little bit, hopefully. And 51. Boop. Okay. And we'll try to stay out of the mist here, too. Hey, look at that. No need to worry, I guess. And here we are at Vanderbilt. I'll just angle directly toward it, and let's see what it costs us to drop our terror here. Here we go. Okay, so for 60 echo, we can drop probably 5 terror. This is usually a more effective way of reducing terror than purchasing a dusty glass of wine, and will also reduce hunger. Let's give it a whirl. We were unlucky. We lost 2 terror for 60. That's okay. Let's see. 50 echo. Wow. But 5 terror, so that's not too bad. Let's get a couple of these. There we go. And we can... Oh my goodness. Let's explore Vanderbilt. Why not? No. A familiar corkscrewed street. Here you are at the Vengeance of Jonah again. Your feet, or your nose, has brought you back. The welcoming yellow glow is like the windows of your own home. The terrors of the sea recede a little. We were just here. Okay. Thanks. Now, I think... we could do that. We don't need to, though. That's a different quest. I think we have some stuff we can give to the first curator here. We have 4 lumps of loose intellect, so I think we can give it one. Oh, nice. Oh, bright as awaking. Cage frail fingers. The curator cups its hands over the lump of glowing coral. Its face, you see now, is masked with copper. Its fingers wither in the light. A curl of smoke rises, but it only clutches the coral tighter. The sea, it whispers. I smell the sea. You smell scorched dust. But here's your payment in rubies of antique cut. The curator seems happy. I think that's... Oh, here we go. We don't need our eyeless skull mascot, so let's give it to him. Yes, I want to forget. A waiting pedestal. At its direction, you place the skull atop a dripstone pedestal, a stalagmite once, now carved with crockets and grimacing faces. Irigo sparks crawl across it. For a moment, you forget what you were doing. Thank you, the curator whispers. Perhaps you have saved me from the sanatorium, and perhaps the emergence will be less painful. Its chest pulses feebly. You accept a single huge black pearl. The curator's fancies grow worse, but it pays well. Zip, we have 2 captivating treasures now, and no more eyeless skull. So we have a bunch of other pages we could bring from the Neath bow, but we don't have anything else for it. So let's launch. Restless Nights. Sure. That's when the crew do things. Oh, we got 10 terror. Yeesh. And we gained 25. That's a really terrible trade right there, guys. But we should be able to make it to London without gaining 6 more terror without much of a problem. Yeah. So, I'm going to hit London. I'm going to dump our terror. I forgot to get a port report. That's okay. Then we'll head out to King Eater's castle. And I think what I'll do is I'll meet you guys when we are down this way on the map, because it should be down here in this corner. So I'll see all of you in a little bit. Alright, welcome back, everyone. We are leaving the Utter Shroom, as promised. We're heading out for the last time probably, for this particular map, into really unknown waters. And actually, we have not yet at all been to this part of the map in the game. Oh, darn it. Really? I was hoping not to deal with you, but okay. We are not going to loot these guys, though, because if we do, we will gain the suspicion of the white and golds, as they're called. Oh, come on. I do not loot that. Yeah, you're a little far from the Khanate. Oh, you know what? Let's see, because we're not anywhere near the Khanate. Let's see if we can just loot her. So we deal with menaces from that. Okay. Not worth it. We're going to skirt this storm here. And hopefully uncover some more map here in a minute. We can curl south here a little bit. Now that these sort of swirlies are dissipating. Now, somewhere down here we are bound to run into Republic Eschatologue class dreadnoughts. Now, with our current weapons, we should be able to handle them just fine. But they are pretty scary to see. They're the bright yellow glowing things that we've seen on a very few occasions. Oh, hello. Jellyfish, you're a biggin', aren't you? Alright, buddy. Let's do it. Just back up and do our thing. Yeah, this is where I think like a good broadside mechanic would be fun. Like, where instead of attacking from the front, or maybe you have some dedicated frontal cannons that do specific things, but then in general your cannonry would be on the sides. I think that could be a lot more interesting. There we go. Now these are the bigger cousins of the Gillyfleurs. I don't know if we get anything new from these though. Let's scoop it up. What do we got? Strange catch. Okay. Good. I actually wanted one because we haven't had one in a while, and there are some things we can trade them for in various locations. Jack a dandy stack. Varchus. Sure. Let's hit Varchus. And we can uncover the map a little bit. And also because I don't think... Hello. I don't think that the markers last between game shutdowns or restarts. Hello? I'm not sure I've been here in a very, very long time, like personally. What do we have here? Oh, this is the light city. Okay, the mirror city. Alright, well, we're gonna... I'll read this here. The burning white light of Varchus. The walled city of Varchus is a tangle of green vines and luminescent fungal flowers slow blooming around moldering stone. A quincunx of carved stepped towers rise over the walls and pour burning white light into the bleak sky. A rough shadowed path leads from the docks to the mirrored gates of Varchus. 2 towering carved stone lamps throw their light on the angled mirrors, and a blue-cloaked guard stands in the reflected pool of light. The city is a beacon against the tree-hushed, sprawling darkness of the Elder Continent. In the far distance, a vast mountain glimmers. I think we'll look at a port report. Check the shop. No shops here. I know there are only... This is a weird place, kind of like Mutton Island, where eventually the whole place changes. So I'm not going to touch it for now, because it's kind of a whole thing. And we are going to make our way out of here and find King Eater's castle. Of course there are no islands within your range. You can't see anything, Bat. Oh, here we go. Here is one of those giant, glorious dreadnought. That's what it is. Hello, friendo. Yeah, we're going to start whittling you down. Boy, he is slow. I think with our torpedoes, we should be able to keep them stun-locked, basically. Yeah, see. When they go to 3 exclamation points, it means they're going to fire soon. And by hitting it, we knock it back to single one. And there we go. And what have we got? Scuttler. An oilskin packet. Oh, I got an unread log. We haven't seen one of those yet. Interesting. So I think we're getting pretty close to King Eater here. Saw that hand up there. Yeah, here we go. Sea of Statues. Not what I want to be. Pretty sure this is it, though. Hey, there we go. Yeah, here we are. This is a great place to accidentally lose all your crew and lose the game if you click the wrong buttons. Discovered Pennington. Do people live here? I certainly hope not. Alright, King Eater's Castle. Echoes stalk you through the colonnades. An old veracity lives here in the far reaches of the Zee. The priests are long gone, but sacrifices are still made. Perhaps you have come here to make a sacrifice. Perhaps the sacrifice is you. Interesting. The Sixth Witness. An act of burning faith. Lose your mind. Offer your thoughts to the author. Do not do this. This will, I believe, this will actually end your game. It's just completely gone. So here we go. Here's what we need. We need to bring a casket of sapphires. That's pretty easy to do. We have 5 crew. We'll probably lose them, so we still have enough that we won't need to worry about only moving at in first gear. So sapphires, the unsettling sage, we don't have that yet. The mechanic's secret, which we have. We'll need 40 Stygian ivory. This is sort of the last thing we can worry about. And an element of dawn. So the element of dawn and the unsettling sage are our next 2 targets. So I think in the next episode, we will work on at least one of these. Probably the element of dawn. It's not the hardest to get, but it can be very costly. So we're going to see what we can do. And yeah, we'll see. Let's get a port report. Everything is horrible. If you need to, you can offer all of your Z stories, including if you have, as long as you have one, but it uses all of them. And what it'll do is it will 50-50 send you to either London or Irem. So if you really have to be there, in one of those 2 locations, you can bang that button. But if not, don't bother. Okay, so yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Next episode, we will be looking for things to do here. I'll probably grab a casket of sapphires along the way and just sort of hang on to them, just so we're ready. And we won't bother with the ivory until we are ready to come here directly. But everyone, that's going to about do it for the episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, my name has been Kurazarrh. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.